John McCain, we need a little straight talk. These associations are important, and they go to the heart of someone's judgment and truthfulness. And again, it's not mean-spirited. It's not negative campaigning to ask someone about their record. It's in fairness to the electorate. As for Acorn's voter fraud, now under federal investigation, John and I are calling on the Obama campaign to release communications it's had with this group, to do so immediately, and we're asking this not to be picking at anyone or hurting anyone's feelings. We're asking for this in fairness to all of you, the American voters. You deserve to know the choice that you can make on November 4th. On Election Day, you're going to be asked to choose between a candidate who won't disavow a group committing voter fraud and a leader who will not tolerate it. This election is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be very close. But here in the home of the Indianapolis 500, you all know something about close races. You know something about close races, and you know how to sprint right to the finish line and to victory, and that's why I am here to ask for your vote. Indiana, are you ready to send us to Washington to shake things up and clean things up? About those tight finishes and tough races, and of course that Indy 500 is just so near and dear to a lot of Americans' hearts. So much so, my little Piper, I wish that she were here today. Her middle name is Indy, so she'd be perfect being here today. But Indiana, in this campaign, for a campaign that says it's all about the future, we notice that our opponents sure want to talk a lot about the past, and they look to the past and they point fingers behind them and behind Americans, because that's where you find blame. But John McCain and I, we are joining all of you in looking to the future, because that's where you find solutions. They seem to want to look to the past because they'd rather run against the current administration. But that strategy is wearing so thin, and as John McCain reminded Senator Obama the other night in that debate, if he'd wanted to run against George Bush, he had his chance 4 years ago. Because this year the name on the ballot is John McCain, and America knows that John McCain is his own man. He is the maverick. As the patriot, he has always put his country first, and it was from an enemy prison camp to the halls of Congress. He has always fought for what is right. He has always fought for his country. He has always put his country first. Country first. Race who talks about the wars that America is fighting, and he isn't afraid to use the word victory. speech after speech about the wars that America is fighting, and it sure would be nice if even once he would say that he wants America to win. In uniform for 22 years, 5.5 years he spent as a POW, and he has met great adversity in his own life and in service to this great country. He knows how tough challenges are overcome. He knows how to win a war. And as the mother of one of the troops in Iraq today, he's exactly the kind of man I want as Commander-in-Chief. Someone very special with us today, and that's Lieutenant General Carol Mutter. She is here. She is the first woman in history of our great country in the United States Marine Corps to earn the rank of 3-star general. I want to take a moment to recognize her. Proud history that you have here of supporting our troops and respecting our military. Those of you who have served in the past or are serving today in uniform, if you could raise your hand, let us honor you and thank you. We thank you. Sacrifice. Now, Indiana, we know that these are tough times across this great nation. Here in this state, too, there being so much at stake in the election, our country is facing tough economic times. And now, more than ever, we need someone tough as president who is ready to lead on day one. A leader with experience and courage and good judgment and truthfulness and a bold plan of action that can take this country in a new direction. We need John McCain. Hardship and worry, John has a plan to help keep our families in their homes and help our retirees keep their savings and their investments and help our students pay for college. And help all of us afford good health care. Our plan is going to get this economy back on the right track. John and I together also, we will complete the work of education reform to give every child in America a good chance and every parent in America more choices. And John has the backbone to confront the $10 trillion debt that the federal government has run up. We must do this because the federal government has dug itself into a hole. What do you do when you're in a hole and you don't want to be there? The first thing you do, you stop digging. Yeah.